Can we talk about how the trajectory of a content creator's career is incredibly predictable, if not inevitable? Regardless of niche, regardless of primary platform, everyone seems to be following the exact same roadmap, redefining their goals and what it means to be successful as they go. The interesting thing about this roadmap is that it has absolutely nothing to do with followers or even any objective amount of money. It has more to do with a creator's internal state and how their goals evolve throughout their journey. And if there's a psychologist watching this, please weigh in below on why, as humans, we never seem to be happy with what we've achieved. We're always just craving, itching for more. And I'll share my own theories at the end. So what does this roadmap look like? I've determined that there are 6 stages, gathering from my own experience as a full-time creator, even though myself, I'm still stuck at number 4. And from discussing the topic with my peers and observing the career paths of YouTubers and influencers that I've admired over the years. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but in teasing this concept over on TikTok, I appear to be onto something. So stage 1 on the roadmap. When you're a creator just getting started, you're primarily focused on getting those views, building your audience, getting those reps in so you can get better at the content you're creating. But there is that little thought at the back of your mind thinking, wouldn't it be cool if a brand noticed me? How freaking cool would it be if I got sent free things? Like what? The products that you're reviewing, the gear that you're using, it is expensive and it adds up. How cool would it be if I didn't have to pay for all of these things? I would be saving money, especially if you were running this hobby on dreams and debt. Getting gifted items that you were going to spend your money on anyways, or that you only dreamt of having, is a game changer. And then what would have seemed unfathomable when you started begins to happen. You start to get on brands' radars. They reach out wanting to put you on PR lists. They'd ask you if you'd be interested in doing a review in exchange for their product. And the momentum only seems to build as you post about all of these gifted products, and other brands start to notice and reach out as well. Here, the realization starts to set in that if a brand is sending you free products, there is that expectation or the outright ask that you are creating some type of content for it. They are wanting you to promote their products with your audience, your skill set, your time for free. This quickly becomes unacceptable because A, your time is valuable, and B, you realize that products and exposure don't pay your bills. And this prompts creators to move along to stage 2. So the new kind of immediate goal and measure of success is I need to start landing some brand deals. And so here we start to see creators doing everything they can to achieve just that. They put together their media kit, set rates, start pitching brands. And those free products that they were so excited to receive previously start to lose their shininess. Then once those brand deals start rolling in, we find ourselves at stop number 3. Here's where as creators we start to think, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I made enough to take this thing full time? And then we start doing like the calculations, like how many brand deals a year would I have to do to replace my day job's income? You start thinking about how you're going to attract even more brand deals. Maybe you start figuring out, okay, I gotta raise my rates. A desire for freedom might be motivating this, the idea of working for ourselves, or maybe as I had experienced, this new goal comes from getting severely burnt out, trying to balance this now decently paying side hustle with my 9 to 5. But regardless, it now kind of feels like you haven't truly made it as a creator unless you are doing it full time. And then you do. And now as a full-time creator, we start to realize just how precarious this whole thing is. As cool as it is to work for yourself, you realize you're still at the mercy of these brands. And it kind of starts to feel like you're not actually working for yourself. Similarly, if you are a YouTube first creator making tons on Google AdSense, you start to think, wow, my eggs are really all in one basket here. Google can't be paying all my bills. You start thinking, how can I be more self-sustainable? So your new goal is to diversify your income. You start to think, okay, what products can I create? Am I gonna create and sell digital products? Am I gonna sell merch? This is where we also see a lot of people going down the course route. This is the stage that I'm currently in, and I would argue it's a stage that creators tend to spend a good chunk of time in, because it takes a lot of time to figure out what products really resonate with your audience, or to build up another revenue stream through like affiliate marketing or blogging. Yes, we still believe in blogs around here. And I think for a lot of creators who are stuck in this stage and have those goals of diversification, achieving it seems like the absolute epitome of success. We think like, okay, once I've diversified my income, I shouldn't want anything else. I couldn't want anything else. Like I'm free. But that doesn't actually seem to be the case because there's 2 more destinations along this roadmap. Creators who have managed to diversify their income now might start to think, I don't want my livelihood to rely on me. I don't want it to be dependent on whether or not I show up on social media. I want to go away for a year and still make money. So now the goal in stage 5 becomes, I need to create a business separate from myself. Yes, it might ride on the creator's personal brand and reputation, but it's not dependent on the creator constantly posting content. The idea is to have something with a marketing and distribution strategy separate from the creator's content schedule. Here we might see people launching media companies or businesses that are truly freestanding, something that might even be able to exist long after they're gone. Maybe they're the CEO, or maybe they're not, because that's still too much work. And then once this has been built and is generating income that truly leaves the creator feeling free, what becomes the measure of success when by all external markers, they've made it? Here I see a fork in the road. Down one path, a creator might retire, especially if creating was always a means to an end for them. There's no real reason for them to constantly post on social media anymore to keep up with the algorithms. The goals they have now might have nothing to do with social media or being a creator at all. It's done. Stick a pin in it. Then I see the path that a lot of people take when they do truly see themselves as creators at heart, and that is pursuing more traditional media. Maybe they want to make a Netflix movie or host a late night show. They've done what they can as a content creator confined to social media, and they're ready to take it mainstream. Then finally, I see a lot of creators who start to realize that they became really disconnected from why they started in the first place. And now that they have truly kind of reached this level of financial emancipation, I think it really frees them up to get back to basics and create just for the sake of creating. These are creators who truly always loved creating on social media. Creators who take this route, I also think, just start to post very much on their own time. You don't know when you're gonna see their content again. It's always like this exciting surprise. It's truly just because everything's on their own terms now, which I think is actually pretty cool. I'd love to hear where you are in this content creator journey. Let me know below. I'm also curious if this video could even possibly reach anybody in stage 6, and if they can confirm or deny if I got it right. And now I just want to drop a couple quick theories on why this is, and please share yours below too. The first is that we'll never really know what life is like at our dream destination until we get there. Goals by nature are always just super shiny. We build up in our head what it's gonna be like to achieve them, but we never really think about what we're gonna want next until we've done so. I also think that as we grow and evolve as content creators, we begin to find ourselves in rooms with people that are further along the roadmap than we are. On the positive side, this can act as inspiration, encouraging us to achieve more, to achieve things that we didn't even know were possible. But on the negative side, it can cause us to compare ourselves, making us feel like we don't have enough or like our goals aren't big enough, even though we once felt like they were. Then rolling out some of my decade-old Psych 101 knowledge, I do actually think this trajectory of ever-changing goals is reflective of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the beginning, we want free things because those are things we might not have been able to afford. That's especially the case if you're being gifted things that are a bit more basic and not luxurious, like hygiene products, food, clothing. But then once that's satisfied, we move towards wanting our bills paid. We want to have like a greater sense of security. And then once we have that, I think we move towards a desire for freedom, which leads to us wanting to quit our day jobs and be self-employed. But then we realize that we're not actually that free. We try to build our business to be self-sustaining. But then when that's on its feet and like money is truly not an issue and you truly have freedom, you're respected in your industry, then we see people pursuing self-actualization, whether that's truly creating at their own pace or quitting creating altogether in favor of pursuing something else that they love. What do you think? Is it or is it not that deep? I want to end by saying that I don't think this roadmap is bad or that we shouldn't be wanting more for ourselves. But the reality is when creators are moving through the map, they're usually unaware that they're doing so, which I think can just lead to a lot of frustration and like nothing's ever good enough. But if you're aware of it, I think that you can really savor the journey and appreciate each stage for what it is. Thanks for watching, and until next time.